Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to the Ask Me Anything session of Google Cloud Presents Agentic AI Day powered by Skill. We are so excited to have all of you join us here today, especially on a weekend. I know all of you are really excited for the finale with the teams that are going to be shortlisted and are going to join us for the 30 hours in person AI Innovation Sprint in Bangalore. We are excited as well. So today, we are first going to discuss about some important action items and along with the deadlines by when they have to be completed. Then, as all of you must have seen, that we have announced two more problem statements since last week. And for that, to explain those problem statements in detail, what are the technology stacks that you can use, what direction to build your solution in, we have two very special speakers for all of you, and then we'll open the floor for any queries that you have. Remember, as the name suggests, this is Ask Me Anything session. So any queries that you have regarding the maybe the event day, problem statements, what you have to build, what you have to submit, any and every query that you have, you can ask us freely. You can drop your queries in the comment section and we'll pick it up. So let's start. Okay, so let's first talk about the finale where we are going to have a 30-hour in-person offline hackathon. So a few important pointers. The deadline for submitting to be a part of this 30-hour in-person hackathon, there are two major action items that all of you have to perform. The very first thing is team formation. Team formation is absolutely mandatory here. Solo participation is not allowed at all. So make sure that your team has a minimum of 2 members and a maximum of 5 members. So form your team. Then second step is submit your idea. Submit your idea before 10th of July. The deadline is same for both the mandatory action items that you need to complete is 10th of July. Next, the finale is, as we have already mentioned, a 30-hour in-person challenge in Bangalore International Exhibition Center. Again, these events do not come every day. It is going to be one of the largest in-person hackathons, and make sure that you give your best, that you put in the time, amounts, and hard work, whatever is required, so that you can also get to say that I was a part of one of the largest event, one of the largest in-person hackathon that happened. We'll have more than 500 teams who is going to join us on the event day. So each team will have, like I mentioned, 2 to 5 members. So more than 500 teams, you do the max. There are going to be thousands of developers who are going to be present that day, building AI agents by selecting one of the 6 problem statements, and it is going to be one of the major, like, exciting, life-changing events. So make sure that you do the important action items that we just talked about, that is team formation and idea submission before 10th of July to increase your chances of getting shortlisted. Again, only shortlisted, this is an invite only event, so only shortlisted teams will be invited to join us for the 30-hour in-person event. So for that, you just have to submit your idea. I'll also talk about what all things are needed to be there in your submission. And if your team is shortlisted, if the jury who are going to evaluate your idea, if they like the concept that you have submitted, only then you will get shortlisted and only then you will get invited. We'll announce the teams on 14th of July. So make sure you submit your idea, you form your team on time. Great. So currently we are in the idea submission and team formation phase. Problem statement explainer session has already happened. If some of you have missed, or maybe you want to refresh what all we talked about, you can log into your hackathon dashboard and you can check out the problem statement explainer session from there. Even in that session, we took up a lot of queries, so you can rewatch the entire recording of the session, and whatever queries you have, or maybe any questions that you have, you can check out there. We also have a support email. You can also reach out to us there, or maybe join our Discord channel, for which we'll present the QR code at the end. Here, there is only, as of now, there is only one important date, which is 10th of July. And before that, you only have two action items, team formation, idea submission. So make sure that you do that for increasing your chances of getting shortlisted for one of the largest in person hackathons that is going to happen on 26th and 27th of July in Bangalore. In what to submit part, the very first thing is you have to select a problem statement around which you want to build your AI agent. Then think about how you can conceptualize an innovative solution that leverages agentic AI principles. Again, there are extra points, extra scores for those who will use Google Developer Technologies, Google AI tools to build this. Then the submission also asks for a very brief about your idea, technology stack being used, and what impact your solution might create. So if I present the dashboard where you have to submit all of these things, then here. So here is the dashboard where we land once we register for the hackathon. Like I mentioned, team formation and idea submission are the two phases that are currently live, and you have until 10th of July to complete those. For team formation, you can go to the team management section. The very first thing is, if you have any friend, any colleague who want to join your team for this hackathon, you can ask them, you can just forward the registration link to them and you can ask them to join. Or you can also send from here. You can just create a team, and if you want to join a public team, if let's say you do not have anyone that is currently available for joining your team, you can just click on this explore public teams, and these are all the teams that are currently looking for their team members. So you can just click on this request to join option, and the team will ultimately receives an email that this person has requested to join your team, and similarly they can approve or reject your request. For example, I have been invited by, let's say, these three teams. So in the action item, I can just click here, and either I can accept their invitation or I can reject their invitation. And in request sent, whatever team you have sent a request to, this will be displayed here. Then if you go to the submissions tab, then this is where you need to submit your idea. For submitting the idea, there is a template already provided here. You have to use this particular template only. So you can just download this template from here and mention all of the things that are given in each of the slide under specific headers. If you want to add some more information, feel free to do that. But this is the template that you have to use for submitting your idea. Then from here, just select the problem statement, what you are selecting. Then a very small brief about what your idea is about. Then what problem you are trying to solve, maybe in detail. Then technology stack being used. Then if this is your first hackathon, what impact your solution could create. And after downloading this PPT, convert it into a PDF and just then upload this PDF here. And then click on submit button. This is how you have to submit your idea. And currently, these are the two only important action item for each of the registered participants here. Then, if you want to visit the problem statement explainer session, then just go to the interactions tab, scroll down, and problem statement explainer session, which happened last Saturday. The link will be available here, so you can revisit the session to refresh whatever the first four problem statement that we discussed that day. All the problem statements are also listed here. You can just click on view more, and all the details that are provided for each of the registered participants will be displayed here. This will help you get more understanding of what each problem statement is about. Coming back here. So like I mentioned, currently we have 6 problem statements that are live on the website. You can select any of them. Each team have to submit only one idea, and each team has to select only one problem statement. So those who have not yet started building their idea or the concept, please make sure that you do that, because we are very close to the deadline and there are not going to be any extensions. So make sure that you select one problem statement, you start building your idea, and you submit it on time. Now let's invite our very first speaker to the for today. Neeraj is one of the founding team members in FireMini, and they have also contributed a problem statement for this hackathon. They are our premium partners. So let's invite him to the stage. Hello, hi
Hi.
Neeraj.
Hi. Thanks, Shweta. Hi, everyone. Just quick introduction. My name is Neeraj Bhope, as Shweta just mentioned. I head the engineering at Phi, and In my past, I also worked at Google for a bunch of time and worked on Google Pay and other products. At Fi, I'll do a quick introduction of the Fi Money app before we go deeper into the problem statement. Fi Money is a money management app, so we handle everything related to money for Indian customers, starting with bank accounts where we partner with Federal Bank to give digital bank accounts opened completely digitally, securely, and in a compliant fashion. We also provide a platform for doing mutual funds. Uh, we have a feature for investing in US stocks right from India. So if you want to invest in the best stocks out there in the US market, you can do that through Fi. We do portfolio tracking through our net worth feature, and that's where I think the problem statement kind of arises from. So recently we launched a MCP server for democratizing the net worth data in the hands of developers, right? Um, our mission at Fi is to maximize people's financial potential, and I think having a good idea of how people are spending their money, how they are saving their money, how they're investing is key to that mission statement, right? What we felt is that we can empower users a lot more by exposing all the data that a user has in terms of their financial portfolio, and not just in terms of what they have in the bank or in investments, but also other stuff like your credit report, right? How much liability you have, what's your credit rating, um, how much do you have in saved in, say, employee provident fund, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of interesting data, and typically if you go to a financial advisor today, right, the first step is they'll ask you for this data, and it's typically cumbersome, it is point in time. uh, if you have to give them a updated uh, you know uh, view of your financial position, that means you have to reshare all these details. Overall it's very cumbersome. uh, we feel it's going to be an interesting space where we provide a platform where customers can come in, connect all the financial investments they have, liabilities they have on one single app, and then we can in turn provide that real time data out for people, so that they can engage with their favorite AI platforms, as well as through MCP, or if they don't want to do MCP stuff, if it's more casual user, we allow a data exported in a file to directly be exported to, say, a Gemini app or a Claude app that you have on your phone. So we launched this feature just last week, and we are partnering, excited to partner with Google and work with Hack to Scale to have a problem statement around this same theme. We are calling it Mission Earth, Earth as in the Arthashastra Earth, and we want AI to start speaking to your money, right? Now, the traditional way of maybe doing this is just analyze portfolios, how my mutual fund investments are faring, how is my stock portfolio doing, how's my US stock portfolio doing, do I have something in my provident fund, I changed companies, so now it's probably not earning interest. Can we uncover this for our users, right? With not just a single hard coded UI that we provide, but also just export this data out and let people come up with all the questions they have about their money and service themselves, right? We believe that's the future, where data in the hands of people along with a capable AI assistant will be an interesting kind of way to deal with it. So yeah, I think what we want as part of this problem statement is for people to think of very, very interesting use cases and come up with something interesting beyond the basic, right? um, we want people to marry this financial data with other data that is out there, right? Maybe you have a running stock ticker data coming in from somewhere, and then maybe you can in real time figure out what to do with the person's Indian stock portfolio or mutual funds portfolio. Maybe you can give them deep insights on how to improve credit scores. And there are just so many things out in the world that even we can't think about, that we hope this big developer community comes in and thinks creatively and brings to the table. So that's what we expect. In terms of a requirement for the hack, we feel building this with our Phi MCP server is something that is a required thing. And of course, as Shweta mentioned, using Google AI technologies will be an added plus. We will recommend things like ADK and using that to build the AI agent that you want. Um, let's now move on to just doing a quick overview of the Phi MCP server. Before we go there, just Harsh, Shweta, just quickly, do we have any questions yet?
We do have some questions, but they are a mix of everything, like questions related to the event day, what they have to submit.
Sure. Okay. Then I'll just go through the material I have and introduce the Phi MCP for everyone. Okay, just quickly going to present. Before that, I'll just, yeah, thanks. Okay, great. I hope everybody saw that and got a good idea of what we are trying to do here. Um, what I'm going to go through now is just a quick set of instructions on how you connect the MCP server or configure the MCP server. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think first and foremost, yeah, this is assets, liabilities, bank balances, government instruments, all are part of what we offer through the MCP server that we have. We'll just quickly go through the setup instructions. So first and foremost, what people need to do is download the FiMoney app and go to the net worth tracker tab, right? So net worth feature is what people need to connect their assets and liabilities to. And we also allow people to add stuff manually, even if it is not in some server out there or some government database or mutual fund database out there. You can essentially say, okay, I have this much gold, and it can also be manually added. So essentially this will give you the coverage of your entire finances. And once you've done this, then you can install the Phi MCP server. So I don't know which MCP client you guys use, but some of the more popular ones, at least from a developer community perspective, are Cursor or Cloud Desktop or Windsurf, and there are plenty more out there. These are just examples, so feel free to do whatever you want. Separately, if you are a developer and you are doing agentic development, Google ADK and a bunch of other frameworks also allow uh, to connect to MCP servers through standard libraries, and you can go ahead and use those and configure it to use the MCP server that we have. Um, it's a fairly easy configuration. So if you see this, let me just increase the font size. You just need to point to our MCP server, and that's about it. Once you have that, you can go to your MCP client, and after you pose the first question, you'll be asked to log in. There is a authentication flow that happens so that your data is secure between you and your AI and isn't in the hands of anyone else. So the authentication step is fairly simple. You When you click a login link that is provided in your AI tool, that opens up a web page where you input your phone number. Then you go to the Fi Money app, go to the settings, go to Fi MCP, and share an OTP and do the authentication. Um, Once you have done that, you just say done, and the AI agent will then take over from there and it will do the tool calls. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to share my cursor setup and go through some of the features we have. Just give me a moment. Okay, so here we go. We have cursor set up here. I'm just going to quickly go to, yeah. So if you see here, there are four tools. Sorry. Yeah, so, oops. Sorry about that. Yeah, so there are four tools here. First is the fetch credit report. Second is fetch EPF data. Third is fetch the entire net worth. And fourth is fetch transactions. So transactions essentially will give you much finer granularity data. The rest of it, net worth is a little bit high level. EPF and credit report are very specific to those two data sources. Okay. Now we're just quickly gonna go to chat. Okay, seems like that's hidden somewhere. Okay, regardless, we'll move on. What we will do is I'll quickly share some of the use cases. Okay. So if you can see this, what you could do once you have set up the MCP server essentially is just fire queries, right? Um, Now, these are some of the use cases that we've thought about. We would encourage all of you to think beyond this, think a lot more creatively beyond this. Um, so, essentially, what are the mistakes in my portfolio? Are my investments diversified enough? Give the user as much financial empowerment as well as knowledge out of this is the aim. Okay, cool. So that's all I had, Shweta. I think the cursor stuff we will let go. I think there's some issue there. Um, Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Neeraj. Now let's first discuss the next new problem statement that went live last week, and then we'll have all the speakers again on the stage, and we can continue solving the queries of the participants. So next let's welcome her. She's program manager at Google, and he's gonna explain the last problem statement that we have today.
Right. Hi. Thanks, Sweta, for having me here. Welcome to all the participants. Thanks for joining. So today we're going to talk about the fifth problem statement, which is about Project Rasid. So I'm sure most of you have gone through the website and read that problem statement as well. So that problem statement is about how you can consolidate all your receipts or bills or passes, right? Let's say if you have a boarding pass, or if you have a invoice or a receipt from a vendor, right? Let's assume you are going on a business trip, like what all things you would be requiring on a business trip, from boarding pass to receipts to couple of food hotel invoices as well, right? How you can leverage Google Wallet and build an AI agent that can help you process those invoices as well, and maybe submit an expense. So this is just an idea around it. Like, challenge is to consolidate all your receipts, boarding passes, purchases, everything using Google Wallet, and include and add an additional AI agent on top of it, so that it's very easy to process this all the informations that you have around those images as well. So this was about the fifth problem statement, Project Rasid. But if you have any queries, please use this forum. If you have any queries around this problem statement presented by Neeraj as well, or the program overview explained by Shweta, so any, or plus there are four other problem statement as well. So I think any Q&A, we can quickly move to the Q&A with interest of time.
We already have a lot of comments in the comment section. Oh my god, more than 300. We can just start picking the questions. For example, the recent one that I have is no, not this. Oh my god, it changed. Should I start taking the participant like event day queries, or we can do it together?
Okay. Shall I take one or two questions?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. So there was one question on, will there be resources provided around Google AI? So I'm not sure what you mean by resources, but we, on the website, we have already attached a developer resource page as well. and I think it would be on your portal as well. So you can go through those resources. If you mean documentation, links, and everything, yes, it's already provided. Uh, but if you mean credits, then we won't be able to provide credits for any kind of development. You can use the free trial account, and that's highly advisable because you will be not paying from your pocket. You will get $300 free Google Cloud credits as well, which can be used for AI Studio. If you are using Gemini APIs through AI Studio, you can use free trial credits there as well. If I know few of you are also few of the participants are also trying to build something using Firebase Studio, so those credits, $300 credits, can be used in Firebase as well if you are deploying your product live, right, project live. So I hope this answers the queries. If it links and resources, it's already on the website. If it's credit, we are not providing. You need to sign up for the free trial account.
Someone asked about the mentors for guidance. Um, so there will be in-person mentors on the event day. So whatever guidance or like, direction you need while you are building your solutions, that will be provided.
I have one question here from someone. Irene has asked, is there an alternate way to make use of FiMoney's MCP server and look at the functionalities it offers instead of having to install FiMoney, link all accounts, and use the auth passcode it gives? Irene, as far as production data is concerned, uh, that we will, you'll need to essentially install the app because this is all financial data. It's all regulated. The way we also source it is also after going through a rigorous process where we authenticate and do identification and KYC, etc. So there is a little bit of that going on as far as production data is concerned. Um, for the sake of the hackathon, what we will be doing is provide some synthetic data sets, and we will make that available sometime end of this week. So then you could essentially just point to our staging server and get access to different kinds of financial portfolios as part of the MCP server. But if you want production data, then it is required that you use the final one.
Uh, thanks, Neeraj. There was one question which talks about, it was an excellent question. Someone asked, can we use Firebase GenKit? Uh, yes, you can. It's a good AI orchestration platform, open source as well. Obviously, you can use Firebase GenKit, and also GenKit will allow you to access a variety of industry models as well using Ulama. So it's, if you want to use Firebase GenKit in your product, feel free to do it. There is one as well around Project Rashid. Sorry, questions are moving so fast. It just went up. Yes. Uh, for Project Rashid, do we need to include prototype link in PPT? How PPT will be evaluated? Yes, you can include if you have a prototype link for Project Rashid. In fact, any of this project, not just limited to Project Rashid, feel free to include it in the presentation that you have. So having a prototype can definitely help you score good points in the evaluation. Only if it's working and solving that problem statement, not just having a prototype, but it should be working and solving the actual problem at the end.
Harsh, there is one more question around fifth problem statement. They want to create an AI model for receipt management that wants to be integrated with Google Wallet. Is it correct? Is this what is expected in the fifth problem statement to be built?
Correct. So see, it we don't expect you to integrate any AI model with Google Wallet, but what we are expecting is that just go through the documentation of Google Wallet. Google Wallet APIs will give you a lot of processed data from the invoices, or let's say a boarding pass, or maybe some of the food bills, or anything that you are uploading in Google Wallet. How you can use AI agent? I'll give you an example. Let's say if you are building a AI based expense filing tool, right? So how you can use Google Wallet's API over there and use build an AI agent to file expenses on behalf of you, or maybe an AI agent who can ask queries uh, for the invoices being uploaded in Google Wallet. So that's the expectation. Those two ideas I can throw right now, but think more about it. We want an AI agent integrated with Google Wallet's API.
There is one more question around where they are asking for suggestions for any APIs or data sets, or they can use any publicly available APIs themselves.
One second.
It is in screen.
Yes. Are there any APIs or data set recommended provided by Google for market price trends, weather data? So see, if you just visit website called kaggle.com, there are a lot of data sets available around price market trends, weather data, agriculture, agriculture related schemes for India. It might or might not be there on Kaggle. Do a search. But if you want, there is a website called data.gov.in operated by Government of India. There you can get lot of data sets around agriculture domain as well. So just go through this. Uh, Feel free to use any publicly available data sets, but don't try to do any kind of piracy or things around that. We advise you to only use publicly and free available data sets.
Sobin has asked if there is any documentation for the primary MCP. So there, just head over to this URL. Can we share URLs here, Shweta, with them?
Yes, yes, please. Either you can share it to me, I'll post it in the public
Okay,
comments, or you
I'll
can.
send it to you.
We'll also list it.
Yeah,
Like we can also share them the URL post the session in an email.
sure. We'll send some data across, but all our stuff is already there on the website. So please go through that, and once you configure the MCP server, uh, the MCP server has four APIs that it exposes, or tools, right? So wherever in whichever API or agent, in whichever AI tool you configure the MCP server, you will see four tools. The four tools will come with their own documentation. So just go through that. We'll also put that up on our website tomorrow. We'll share the URLs.
Someone has asked if they combine two problem statements. So each team has to select one single problem statement. Your entire solution should be around that selected problem statements only. Do not merge two or three problem statements at once. And some people have also asked around the number of slides. So 10 to 12, 13 is what we recommend. Although there is no like suggested mandatory number of slides that you have to pick or choose. 10 to 12 should be enough.
There is one question. Can we use Vision API to process images on cloud or on the mobile device? See, those things are, you are the best person to decide those things, because how it's, see, if it again it comes where how you are optimizing your projects will be evaluated on these things as well, how optimized your solution is. If you feel doing an on device processing of images optimized your project, do it. If you feel doing it on cloud optimize your use case, do it. So you are the best person to decide it based on the use case you are solving.
Someone has asked to each member has to submit the project. Only one member has to submit one project from one team. So one team has to select one problem statement and one project should be submitted.
There, there's a question around data privacy by Samyukta Ramesh. Um, yes, your data is private and it's very well guarded. We take care of all security mechanisms and privacy mechanisms at FI. Uh, Please go through the page, MCP page on our website. In the FAQs, you will find stuff related to privacy. Uh, Additionally, what we do is that when we export the data, we also strip that data of any PII. So that's a care we have already taken. So you can be rest assured that your data is safe and secure. One more question was, can we create our own MCP servers in addition to using 5money MCP servers? Yes, please go ahead. If your agent needs any other data that you wish to expose to any other MCP server, you can go ahead and create it. There is no bar on what other MCP servers you can use in your agent apart from our MCP server. Use as many as you want to for the use case that you have thought about.
Uh, there is, thanks, Neeraj. There is one question: do we need to complete all the objectives in problem statement, or few is fine? See, objectives are, see how we have defined all the problem statement. I'll again explain you over there. So if you read the problem statement, we have divided it in two parts. One is challenge. Challenge means what issue, problem we want to highlight to all of you. And objective is our few reference points, like these are the objectives. If you achieve these objectives, you should be able to solve this particular challenge, right? So your solution should focus on those objectives as well. But if you are trying to bring a new objective, if you think that there can be something else which can be developed and solve those challenges as well, feel free to do it. But our evaluation will focus on the objectives mentioned over there and how you are achieving those objectives in order to solve those challenges. But again, I'll tell you, that doesn't mean that we are restricting any kind of innovation around those objectives. Feel free to come up with some new solution as well in order to solve that particular challenge.
Someone has asked if for 10th idea submission, should they submit the concept or production level architecture? No, no. So currently we only need your concept, the idea. That is only one submission, the presentation that you have built. Everything related to development or building a prototype has to be done on the 30-hour in-person event. Currently, we only need the concept that this is what you are planning to build. These are the technologies that you are planning to use. This might be the like process flow and everything. No development is required at this point of time. You just need to submit your idea.
Okay, there is one question. Can we use Gemini or Vertex AI API to build those? Yes, obviously you can use that. That's mentioned in the resources. Uh, if you want, you can go through the resources tab. The links to Gemini Vertex AI cookbook is mentioned over there. So Vertex AI cookbook, if you open that link, you will get a variety of different type of courses as well, from prompt engineering to using Gemini 2.5 Pro APIs, how you can do image generation, video generation, processing of the data as well. So just open that cookbook link in the resources segment as well. So yes, you can use Gemini or Vertex AI as well to solve those problems.
Yes. Explains a higher problem statement. Harsh, can you like, give a one or two line description or a brief of the problem statements around providing farmers with expert help on demand?
Right. So that, see, that Krishi problem statement is divided in small verticals. See how you can build a AI agent to help farmers increase their work productivity and indirectly increase their maybe revenue or crop output as well. So it can be in various ways. See, one of those ways is if you can build a AI agent which can help analyze soil, which can help analyze a soil health card. right? So I'll give you an ideas. Also throw some ideas. Feel free to think more about it. Let's say each farmer, they also get their soil health card as well, right? So if you can work something around how AI can be implemented along with soil health card, how AI can be used with weather data, how you can use it with the price coming from mandis. If those APIs are not available, feel free to build a prototype system as well where prices are coming from mandi. You can also build a backend system where prices are being shown at a mandi level and how it those are being communicated to farmer as well, right? So feel free to do some creativity around that problem statement. How your solution can help farmers increase their output, indirectly increasing the revenue as well, crop quality as well. It can be processing or maybe identifying a crop disease and communicating rapidly to nearby agri university as well, right? Or nearby uh, I'll tell you. So if there is a disease in a farm or maybe in a crop, right? A farmer captures a photo and it can be immediately sent to the nearby agri university where they can do some quick analysis, and same thing can be reported back to the farmer, or maybe it can be mass communicated to nearby properties as well, nearby farms as well, so that it doesn't spread in that area. So some kind of innovative ideas which you can think in that problem state.
Are there any restrictions, like do we have to use Google related technologies, or you can use any open source technologies, but like we mentioned, there are extra points for those who use Google AI tools and technologies.
So there is one question: can we create a mock API? I'm not sure what is a mock API mean. API is a API, so I'm not able to understand this question. But if you are referring to, let's say if there are no public data set available or maybe no official APIs available, and you want to build something around it, see, it's again, that's what I told you. Like, see, you can come up with your innovative solution as well, where you build a mandi platform and let it communicate with farmers as well through a mobile app as well. So if you are saying mock API to such platform, yes, you can do some innovation around that, but your project will be evaluated on how it's solving the actual problem statement, right? It won't be evaluated on how many APIs you are developing, or uh, is it a mock API, official API? No, it will be only evaluated on how efficiently you are solving that problem statement. But if you are using any of those available APIs, make sure you follow their policy, their guidelines to communicate to their system, right? So don't abuse the system if we are using any of those officially available API. It's teams and participants' responsibility to make sure all the are followed when you are consuming any of the publicly available APIs.
Okay. ANPS Ujjwal has a question. So his problem statement 6 about generating an agent which connects the user and by MCP and answers user's query. Yes and no, right? Like, I mean, this would be the very basic thing that your agent will do. But think beyond this. Maybe there are other data sources, other MCP servers you can, marry with our Pi Money MCP server. You can pull in other data sources. You can do a bunch more context engineering and build something interesting.
Team size is not a deciding factor. You can have a minimum of two to a maximum of five team members.
There is one question: if we use GenKit, we won't have to use other Google uh, list which have mentioned again in the project. See, if you use GenKit, I'll again repeat, Genkit is just use is an AI orchestration framework over there, right? So Genkit helps you communicate to various AI models as well, be it Firebase, be it Gemini 2.5. You can also use Olama to use Gemma as well. So if you are using Genkit, again you have to use Google APIs through Genkit as well, and you have to show a demo if you are invited to that final evaluation as well. You may be asked to show a demo around how you have used Firebase Genkit. So using Firebase Genkit doesn't necessarily mean that you are using Gemini models, right? So Genkit stays in between of your application and communicates with the AI models. So,
Each
okay,
person
so
can be a part of one team. I'm so sorry. Each person can only be a part of one team. That's all.
okay, um, there's one question which is what about data regarding government schemes? I think government schemes data is, if you are mentioning about the schemes, their description, who are eligible for those schemes, those data is already available on government websites. And if you are looking for more detailed data, uh, maybe you need to check the data.gov.in website, which I have mentioned previously. If you find any of those public references to such schemes, their allotment, and those things. If you are using such things in your application, go through the data.gov.in website once.
Thrive with Bilal has a question around for Firebase Studio specifies does it apply to web, mobile, or both? Any specific criteria beyond using Firebase Studio for eligibility? The find any problem? I mean, it's up to you what you use for the solution. We are not mandating anything outside of using the FireMCP because that's something that will be central for that problem statement. But beyond that, whatever you want to do, that's up to you.
Right. Same applies for all the problem statements as well. So uh, you can use Firebase Studio if you want, but for 5 other problem statements, there is a special price if you are using Firebase Studio and building the solution as well. There is one question: do we need to write code or we just use annotate? It's up to you, but as I told you, see, uh, when it comes to solving a particular piece of problem statement, I'm not sure how just building a annotated workflow will solve your specific problem statement. I'm really confused over there. But when we will be evaluating, we will be evaluating holistically. We will not just see that, oh, you built a workflow and it's solving a problem statement. No, we will be looking at your genuine attempt in order to solve that problem statement. Have you satisfied all the objectives? Have you understood the challenge as well? So I would advise you to build a holistic system and not come up with an annotate workflow, or you just press a play button and you'll show a demo. No, those kind of solutions may not qualify uh, for the final presentations.
Okay. Bilal's got a follow-up. Can we build an interactive website or microsite as part of our idea submission to better present the concept, or is PPT PDF the only acceptable format? Someone else also had a similar question. I think Arushi Mishra had something similar. Is the final idea submission strictly required in PDF format, or can we submit animated PPT with visuals, diagrams, transitions? I don't know. Like Harsh, do you want to take that?
So you see, PPT and PDF is acceptable format for your idea explanation, but no one is stopping you from adding a website or micro website as a part of that idea submission, right? So on the portal, you can submit your ideas in PPT, PDF formats, whatever is mentioned on the portal, just submit in that format. But how smartly you are using that PPT and showing your website demo video, how smartly you are communicating that idea, no one is stopping you to be innovative there, right? It's same. It's not just for five money problem statement. Same applies for all the problem statement. How smartly you are building the PPT and communicating your idea. There was one question. We will get Gemini API key. We will be provided Gemini API key. I'm not sure. We can't provide Gemini API key from our side. You need to sign up and get your own API key.
For all the reimbursements related questions, if your team is shortlisted, travel and accommodation you have to manage from your end only. For those 30 hours, we'll take care of all the things like food, luggage, everything. But for traveling, shortlisted teams are required to manage from their own.
There was one question from Pratik. Do we need to make an entire AI agent or not just whole website? Yes, idea is to build a AI agent where you deploy it's up to you. We'll be evaluating how you are building the AI agent. You are deploying it on a website. We don't mind if you are using it through an application, communicating to it through application. We don't mind. But idea here is to build an AI agent.
Pratik Surarkar has asked whether we have to build just the agent or and not the whole website. I mean, Pratik, agent could still be there along with a website. So again, up to you how you want to build the entire ad that you have thought of. Harsh, I
Mhm.
think you can take this one. LinkedIn profile is mandatory for registration. Will participant background mentioned in LinkedIn profile be a metric for shortlisting?
No, no, LinkedIn profile is not going to be one of the metrics for shortlisting for the 30-hour in-person event. There are some questions around the evaluation criteria. So all the ideas that are going to be submitted are evaluated on like ideation, how good is the idea, alignment with the problem statement, then solutions, uniqueness and relevance, like how novel is your idea if such concepts already exist in the market, then the potential impact of your solution, and also feasibility, technical feasibility as well as business feasibility. So these are some of the criteria. So we will also share an email with all of these criteria written so that you can maybe take a look again before submitting your final presentation.
Yes. There is one question, interesting question. Is coding mandatory? Yes, it's mandatory because it's a hackathon. There is no is not an answer over here. But how you code, how smartly you code, it's up to you.
Um, there's one more question. Is it mandatory to build things completely from scratch in the 30-hour window, or can we make our MVP after shortlisting? Harsh, what are our rules?
One second. See, during the idea submission phase, if you have already submitted, build a MVP, submitted something during the idea submission phase, no one stops you to continue building it during those 30 hours, right? So it's on also on how well prepared you are to best utilize those 30 hours. I would answer it like that. How well prepared you are to utilize the full 30 hours on the day. I'll rest this question. Will you provide API key? It's been asked around 10, 12 times. No, we won't be providing any of the API keys. You have to sign up and get your own API keys. Irrespective any kind of API keys, you need to sign up by your.
You can add more than 12 slides if you think it is necessary and what you want to build is not already explained in the previous 12 slides. 10 to 12 is what is suggested, but if you think some important information is still left, then you can add one or two more slides.
There is one question. Can we start building the prototype from now? My question is, who is stopping you to build a prototype from now? So you should not wait for us to give you a go ahead. You have the problem statements, you have the idea submission phase, you know the format, PPT, you know the objective and challenge. So what's stopping you from building a prototype?
A lot of people want Google free credits for their hackathon project.
Yes, I feel this is a very genuine question, but my advice is to start with $300 free trial credits. And see, hackathon is not just about coming up with a solution as well, right? So indirectly, your implementation, like how smartly you have utilized those credits, can also play a role. Like when let's say if there are two projects, near cut to cut projects, where we have to evaluate two projects, then such factors play a very important role. Like someone who has built an infrastructure which is cost optimized versus someone who has built an infrastructure which just spends everywhere here and there. So even if both projects are solving same problem statement, such kind of implementation helps you on some bonus points as well.
There is one comment that I have seen at least 15 times, which says that their college is sponsoring their team. Congratulations. Great. We are so happy that colleges today want to support their students in such events. No one is happier than us. We conduct hackathons on a regular basis, and this is great news. All of us have already read this. I have already presented this comment on the screen as well. So I think everyone knows, and you can stop commenting this unless you actually have something to ask.
Right. There is one. Thank you, sir. If groundwork related to model fine tuning UI mockups is allowed post shortlisting, are there any specific limitations on what must be built using? See, there is one strict limitation is you must build something that is solving the problem statement. So that is the strict limitation, right? And if you want to fine tune your model before the 30 hours, if your team is shortlisted, if you are fine tuning it before, no one is stopping you, right? So it's again, I'll repeat, it's on you how you want to best utilize those 30 hours and come up with a solution, right? So if you want to fine tune a model, we know it takes a lot of effort. It won't be able to do it in those 30 hours. If you already have a fine tuned model, and if you want to use it during that 30 hours hackathon, no one stops you from doing that. But again, I'll tell you, your efforts will be evaluated on how you are solving that challenge and achieving those objectives, right?
Uh, Wait, Sangani, we didn't understand your question. What type of circumstances we have to follow for FI money? I'm assuming you are asking about what restrictions we have. So, as I said, use the FI MCP server. Beyond that, whatever you want, you can go ahead and do.
Harsh, someone is asking this. Does using Firebase plays an important role in selection?
See, there is, if you go through those problem statements and price and everything mentioned, there's a special category where if you are using Firebase Studio and solving that problem statement, yes, it plays a very important role if you are aiming for that category, right? So let's take an example of building a City Pulse dashboard. And if you are using Firebase Studio and building something for City Pulse, and if you are aiming for that specific price category, it plays an important role. There is one question at the rate Harsh Dattanishar, do we get any internship offer? Only if I start my own company. Uh, Otherwise, I don't think it's possible.
Someone has also asked how they can contact you. You can find him on LinkedIn. So it's already 5:06. So do we want to take more questions? You can also reach out to Agentic AI support at hackerskill.com for any more queries that you have. Or you can scan and join our Discord channel. Our community managers are available there to solve your queries. And I think that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for
Sorry,
such an insightful.
Shweta. Sorry,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. There's just one last question I would like to take. Michael Robin has asked, me and my team installed FileMoney and tried contacting your MCP server using our own MCP client, and it was not working. We have also noticed that you faced issue during the demo. Can you share again? So, Michael, what I faced is something different. The Fi MCP should still work. Please ping me on LinkedIn with exactly what error you are seeing, and we'll take a look.
Okay. Do we have any last questions that we are picking, Harsh or Neeraj? Anything from your end?
I think there are few repeated questions. So if you there's a few repeated questions around using the API, free trial credits, and all those things. So my again advice is to create a free trial account on GCP and start using those $300 benefit of $300.
Great. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Harsh and Neeraj, for joining us today, especially on a weekend. And thank you so much, all the participants.
Thanks, Harsh. Thanks,
Thank
Shweta.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.